In the mid-90s, Val Kilmer was one of Hollywood's fastest rising stars. He was being cast in major studio films. He received enormous salaries and his future looked completely secure. What most people did not know was that Kilmer had a terrible reputation behind the scenes. Directors and actors constantly complained about his behavior, and his difficult personality eventually caught up with him. After filming The Ghost in the Darkness, the actor received an offer from Warner Brothers to return as Bruce Wayne in Batman and Robin. Remembering how badly he clashed with Joel Schumacher on Batman Forever, Kilmer refused. Instead, he signed on to the large-scale spy thriller The Saint. The decision was based on the fact that although The Saint had a budget of about $70 million, it was not a flagship studio picture, and therefore Kilmer, as a major star, expected to have more freedom on set. The Saint was already a troubled production before Kilmer arrived. Mel Gibson, Hugh Grant, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Ralph Fiennes had all turned down the lead role for different reasons. The script went through multiple rewrites, and Kilmer disliked it as well. According to reporting from Entertainment Weekly, Kilmer frequently derailed filming, refused to say his lines, locked himself in his trailer, and even stubbed cigarettes out on crew members. Elizabeth Shue, who played his love interest, publicly denied these stories, but her interview was clearly part of the film's promotional campaign. So the truth is uncertain. Disagreements over the ending of the film led to already completed and expensive material being thrown away. Director Phillip Noyce later admitted that he regretted giving in to Kilmer because the original ending was outrageous and wild. It involved chandeliers dripping with oil, villains falling into sludge, and a level of absurdity that would have made Austin Powers proud. Roger Moore, who once played Simon Templar on television, wrote in his autobiography that Kilmer asked him if he knew what a piece of garbage they had made. When The Saint opened on April 3, 1997, it flopped in the United States. It earned about $118 million worldwide on a budget of $70, and Kilmer received a Razzie nomination for Worst Actor. The ironic part is that his refusal to do Batman and Robin could have looked like brilliant intuition if The Saint had become a hit. Instead, he simply traded one disaster for another. Before The Saint, Kilmer appeared in 3 major films a year, including Heat, The Ghost in the Darkness, Batman Forever, and Tombstone. After The Saint, he vanished for 2 years and returned with At First Sight, and the science fiction film Red Planet. Red Planet finally ended his status as a bankable leading man. Hollywood often releases similar films close together, hoping that one will boost interest in the other, but in the case of Red Planet, the opposite happened. The film had been developed at Warner Bros. For years and was initially meant to star Kevin Costner. But as the years passed, his career declined, and the studio moved on. When reports surfaced that Disney was preparing Mission to Mars, Warner Bros. Panicked and rushed Red Planet into production with incomplete planning. Big stars were unavailable and uninterested. Warner decided to take a gamble on Kilmer, hoping that his former fame would attract ticket buyers. The director's situation was even worse. The studio needed someone who understood visual effects, but no established filmmaker wanted to board a doomed project. Eventually, they hired Anthony Hoffman, a director of commercials and music videos. The logic was simple. It worked out with Michael Bay and David Fincher, so why not try the same trick again? Production quickly turned chaotic. Kilmer clashed constantly with Tom Sizemore, and their arguments escalated into physical fights. Crew members claimed the 2 actors refused to address each other by name, and at one point argued over who would be allowed to say the single F word, permitted by the film's PG-13 rating. They settled the matter with a game of rock, paper, scissors. Production delays pushed the budget to $80 million, and the release date had to be moved from summer to fall. Test screenings were disastrous, and instead of reshoots, the studio simply cut 40 minutes out of the film. Knowing that Mission to Mars had already failed at the box office, Warner Bros. Spent heavily on marketing to save Red Planet, but nothing helped. The film grossed only $33 million in theaters, and critics destroyed it. Director Anthony Hoffman returned to commercials and never made another feature. Val Kilmer disappeared into straight-to-video films, appearing only occasionally in supporting roles in projects like Alexander or Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and although some said he eventually softened his behavior, he was never able to restore his career. In the final years of his life, Kilmer did manage to return to the screen one last time. He appeared in a small but emotional role as Iceman in Top Gun: Maverick. That was Frameback. See you on the next rewind.